Mike and Sarah, a lovely couple. They had been together for years, sharing countless memories and building a life full of love and laughter. Their friends often admired their relationship, noting how well they complemented each other. Mostly. Except when it came to the thermostat. Mike liked it warm. He would often find himself shivering if the temperature dipped even slightly. He loved the cozy feeling of a warm home, especially during the chilly months. Sarah, a human furnace, preferred it Arctic. She thrived in cooler temperatures and would often feel stifled if the heat was too high. For her, a cool breeze was refreshing and invigorating. This led to years of passive-aggressive thermostat adjustments. Each had their own idea of the perfect temperature, and neither was willing to compromise easily. It became a silent battle of wills. Mike would sneakily crank it up. He thought he was being clever, adjusting the thermostat when Sarah wasn't looking, hoping she wouldn't notice the subtle increase in warmth. Sarah, with a mischievous smile, would nudge it down. She had her own tactics, waiting for the perfect moment to lower the temperature, confident that Mike wouldn't catch on immediately. The thermostat became a battleground. It was no longer just a device to control the temperature, it symbolized their ongoing struggle for comfort and control. Their home, a demilitarized zone. The tension was palpable, and even their friends could sense the underlying conflict whenever they visited. They knew the truce was fragile. Winter was coming. The colder months would test their patience and resolve, as they braced themselves for another season of thermostat wars. The first truly cold snap hit. The temperature plummeted, and the world outside was a frozen wonderland. Snowflakes danced in the air, blanketing everything in a thick white layer. The wind howled, rattling the windows and making the house creak. Mike burrowed under the covers, trying to find some warmth. He shivered uncontrollably, his teeth chattering as he pulled the blankets tighter around him. The cold seemed to seep into his very bones, making it impossible to get comfortable. Sarah, in shorts and a t-shirt, read a book. The tension was palpable. She seemed completely unaffected by the cold, her focus entirely on the pages in front of her. The contrast between them was stark, almost comical. Like a nature documentary about gazelles and lions, you knew something was about to go down. Mike shivered. He pulled the blanket. It didn't budge. The struggle for warmth had begun, a silent battle in the dead of night. Sarah, eyes still on her book, had it in a vice grip. This was war. She held onto the blanket with a determination that belied her calm exterior. Mike knew he had to strategize if he wanted any chance of reclaiming the covers. The night was far from over. "Honey!" Mike whined, his voice barely audible over the hum of the ceiling fan. The room was dark, save for the faint glow of the alarm clock on the nightstand. He shifted uncomfortably, trying to pull the edge of the blanket over himself. "Could I get a little bit of the blanket?" he asked, his tone a mix of desperation and frustration. The blanket was bunched up on Sarah's side, leaving him exposed to the chilly night air. "You have the blanket?" Sarah replied, not looking up from her phone. She was nestled comfortably, her body cocooned in the warmth of the covers. Mike sighed, knowing this battle was far from over. They glared at each other, the tension palpable in the small bedroom. It was a silent standoff, each waiting for the other to relent, but neither did. "Fine," they thought simultaneously. "Separate blankets it is." They each grabbed their own set, determined to claim their own territory in the bed. A mountain of blankets was assembled on each side of the bed. Peace, at last. The room fell silent save for the occasional rustle of fabric as they adjusted their new arrangements. At least until Mike woke up freezing, his teeth chattering as he realized his blankets had somehow disappeared during the night. The blankets were scattered across the room, a chaotic mess that spoke of restless sleep and midnight maneuvers, and Sarah, bundled in all of them, snoring softly. She had won the blanket battle, but at what cost? Mike sighed, resigning himself to another sleepless night. Section 4, Victory and Defeat, and More Blankets. "Sarah!" Mike whisper yelled. "How is it possible you have all the blankets?" Sarah mumbled something about polar bears and rolled over. Mike, defeated, stumbled out of bed. He needed more blankets. He tripped over decorative pillows. Why did they even have decorative pillows? He swore he heard Sarah chuckle. Section 5, Love and Laughter in the Cold. The next morning over coffee, Sarah laughed. "You should have seen your face." Mike, wrapped in every blanket they owned, grumbled. It's not funny, but it was. They both knew it. These little battles, this was their life. Annoying, yes, infuriating sometimes, but ultimately, it was love. And blankets. Mostly blankets.